Hey, there we go. Hey, Mark, I'm Brad. I got tagged in this, so let me jump in here real quick and see if we can um, help answer your question. First of all, yeah, I agree with what Patrick said whenever he said that fancy is a relative term. So, when you're looking for your shop to be more fancy, like Jody said below, if you have an example, it's all about the communication. Um, So if you have an example of some other sites that you think are fancy, that's awesome. That's great. Rock on. Here's the problem with that. Anytime you get into what I think versus what somebody else thinks, you always have a conflict. Hold on. Ah, there we go. The magic paper towel holder. This is my perspective. And out here in the world, you've got everybody else's perspective. So what can I do to make it fancy? Well, that's kind of a very, very subjective question. What you want is a objective answer, right? What do I think? Well, what does everybody else think is the most important thing to getting your site to have conversions. And I need to get a room real quick, but I'll do that later. All right. So let's look real quick at the total shop here. I noticed that you put the I noticed. Listen, I noticed that you linked to it and then said, "Oh, I don't have any products up yet." Well, in trying to answer the question, though, that's kind of a big deal. So there's got to be some kind of rhetoric or images or templates to look at for, as the viewer's eyeball is scrolling down the page, what is it that you're presenting to them? What is it that they're looking at? What is it that they're reading? What are the emotions evoked in all of, all of it, from the content to the images to the layout. Those are all factors. So I would encourage you first to get some products up here. On the home page, this is very, very sharp with nope. This is very sharp with the big bold. What is it that you're about? Well, we find fighters and we get them matched up together. Okay, rock on. And there's a big, distinct and contrasting call to action right there, which is absolutely awesome. Now, I will wholeheartedly, every time, anytime, all the time, jump in here and say something about that pop-up. If you interrupt my mind when I'm exploring, you are losing me, okay? So I want you to imagine somebody who is, I don't know, let's keep it in the genre. Let's say I'm at the speed bag, right? I'm at the speed bag. I'm going like this. I'm focused. I'm checking my rhythm. I'm checking my timing, and I'm hitting this speed bag hard, right? I'm really focused, and then, hey, Daddy, I want to go to so-and-so's birthday party. Hey, Daddy, hey, honey, do you? Right? That pop-up is very, it's an interruption. So keep that in mind and keep that into consideration when, as you're inquiring about, what's fancy and what's not. Like Jody said, I think I mentioned that, but, it's really about hire an affordable, hire a designer, make the logo bigger. Nope. And let me stop and take this opportunity to say something. The logo never matters as long as the message is clear. What that means is that, that while that person, whoever it was, had that suggestion, that's an awesome suggestion. However, you can have a landing page and never put a logo on there. The message that you're trying to convey matters much more than one damn image. It just does. It's bottom line. You can make the logo bigger, smaller, whatever you want. What you're wanting is you always want to sell the click. What are you wanting the user to do? What are you wanting them to do? If I'm checking out on HEB, I want to add that to my cart. Where's that button? I don't give a shit about the logo, right? I'm just saying. But where is my ability to do the very next thing that you're wanting me to do? What are you wanting me to do? You're wanting me to put my name, my profile up there and find a fighter to match up with. Okay, fine. That needs to be above the fold, always in a contrasting call to action, big ass button. If you're wanting them to add a product to their cart, on the cart page, what are you wanting them to do? You're wanting them to proceed to checkout. Where is that proceed to checkout button? Is it way the heck up here in the top right of the screen, barely visible? HEB? Yes, it is. Is it down at the very, very bottom in a barely contrasting color so that the user has to scroll and scroll and scroll? Well, that's not good. You know, you want it in, I mean, dead center, right? Right there, right? When my eyeball lands on the checkout page, where do you want that checkout page? I mean, where do you want that checkout button? What is the next thing you want them to do? If they land on a product page, what is it you're wanting them to do? You're wanting them to add that to their cart, right? Do not put that add to cart button way the hell below 8,000 lines of text, 4,000 lines of pictures and things like that. If you do, and this is where getting into WooCommerce really gets very interesting, you have to know how to put a button somewhere so that anytime you can do a sticky button at the top, at the bottom, add additional buttons throughout the text. But if you're going to go for some long, drawn out, detailed and 2,000 word product page, you've got to put that add to cart button or some type of action every time it's called a fold. Let me see if I can do it. Every time they scroll, okay, and then you get another one, and then you get another scroll. So every time you scroll, there should be a call to action button, something that is constantly in that visitor's medulla oblongata. Okay, it's got to stay up there. You've got to have that on your page at all times, telling that person exactly what you want them to do next, all the time. Do not let a page, a whatever, go out of view without having what you want them to do next always in front of them. Okay, sell the next click basically is what it's called. So I want to join as a fighter. Okay, I want to log into my account. I don't have an account, so I want to create an account. Okay. As the site, if this is a new site, you're going to have a lot of people that don't have an account. So consider switching the position of those. Create an account is going to be the most important, or the more heavily behaviorally clicked on than log in. Because it's a brand new site, right? Is anybody going to have already an account? No. They're going to create an account. So you might want to consider switching the layout and the positioning of those. So let's say I go through here and I create an account, be part of the community. Sign up for an account today. The fast, convenient, powerful way to find fighters. Be sure to add your best high-resolution images of your sexy dad bod. Do it now. Tell a fighter the good news. You know, the rhetoric, the rhetoric is always important as well. You want to tell people the benefits, not the features. What is the features of going to a steakhouse is I'm going to eat a steak, right? Rock on. The benefit of going to restaurant A is that that steak is the finest cut of steak. That steak is the cooked by a professional chef who has won this award. I mean, I can get a steak. I can get a steak in the kitchen in about an hour. You know, what is the benefits of that steak right there? Speaking of pop-ups and interruptions, anyways, where was I? The rhetoric, the words matter. They always have, they always will. And of course, you can Google a million things about how to write emotion, write why, sell the why behind the what. Sign up today for a Fight Match account. No shit, it's on it. It's right there on the page. I get that. Your fighter is going to get that. Why? We have the best, big, fucking bold, underline, italics. Our platform is quick, simple, easy. I mean, you know, somewhere within the psyche of, you know, okay, I went to the gym, I met somebody that is a fellow MMA fighter, and I'm just gonna fucking walk up to him and ask him, you know, hey, look, why would you sign up for this? Why would you not sign up for this? I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna damn near write that right there. I mean, just bottom line, I'm gonna write that right there. God, you know, I don't want to get too deep into this. What am I, 12 minutes in? Events under one roof. Have you listed your event yet? No, I have not. Again, it's the why behind the what. And I don't quite see a way to, you know, I don't see a way to list that here either, which I'm sure you probably, you know, it's just not up there yet. But, you know, I don't know, just in general, Mark, I think that the most important thing is to really understand that, you know, fancy is subjective, and that will always be the case. Anytime anybody asks an opinion, what you're looking for, though, is the objective answer. Very much like, you know, whenever I said, go ask a fighter, and listen to the rhetoric that they say, you know, that would be an objective answer. That would be a objective response. You know, submit the site not just to hear, but, you know, once you get more products, really go into really dive into the Google Analytics and look at your demographic data: male, female, 25, 35, 45, 50 and up might mean that you're having a lot of managers. I don't know. A lot of managers come onto the site and look at listing their fighter. You know, that's all the demographic detail that tells you, okay, my rhetoric, my layout, my buttons, my text need to say something that is more geared towards, hey, if you're a manager, you need to know why I want you to come list your fighter on here. You know, so that makes your site more appealing to people who are actually using it. Fanciness is never about, you know, Mark, fanciness is never about some weird scrolling shit. Okay, it's just not. It's never about like some CSS loading as the visitor scrolls down the page. The pictures come up with a flip, or or the text flies in from the side on load. Not to geek you out, but as they scroll up the page, it floats onto the screen. Nobody gives a shit. Let me just state that. No one gives a flying rat's ass. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. The message is in how you convey it, and that's very simply done with layout, text, and images, and having, that big, beautiful red call-out button with a, the background of the fighters. I'm getting an emotion evoked there psychologically that says, wow, I love to fucking compete in e-commerce. I want to put my skills head to head with somebody else. Yes, I want to submit my site, myself, whatever, to this awesome website where we can match up two women's legging companies together and have those two fight together. And we can, iron sharpens iron. So we're going to compete with our skills and see, who makes the most money. Okay, fine. I'm going to click that button. Why? Because it loaded with a fancy twist. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to click that button when I see the value in doing it. When the site owner has conveyed to the visitor, this is why. This is the why behind the what, and this is why you should submit your site to us. So, fancy, logo, things like that really doesn't ever come into the picture. That should never be on your radar at all. It just shouldn't. Layout, understanding the mind of the visitor, like in the same way that a fighter is going to replay the tapes. Watch what happens when he comes around with this right hook. It's totally way too far out there. I could totally sneak in, a great shot because this guy's right hook is so far. What are you doing? You're studying the fighter. In the land of inner tubes and interwebs and all this hoopla, you have to study the visitor. Okay? Once you do that, then you'll start to understand that if you really want to throw that knockout punch consistently to the visitor, anytime, all the time, the fanciness comes in when you understand them better. Anyways, hey, speaking of steak, I hope that helped, buddy. All right, talk to you later. Bye.